can just accept the fact that the recording is there. And I'll just introduce Dr. Victoria because I'm sure she's new to a lot of you, even though she has been on our group for quite a long time. And we did send out some information in relation to other research before. But I just want to pronounce your surname. Is it Luhaste?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. So Dr. Victoria Lohaste, she holds a master's degree in the science of creative intelligence and Maharishi Ayurveda and integrative medicine, as well as a PhD in physiology and health from the Maharishi International University. That's in Fairfield in Iowa, which is a place I've been many times, a fantastic university over there that was established by Maharishi many years ago. Her doctoral research focused on the Maharishi Ayurveda multimodality approach to neuropsychiatric conditions. And she currently serves as a faculty member in the Department of Psychology, of Physiology and Health at MIU. In addition to her teaching and research, Dr. Victoria is a distinguished curriculum developer for the International Foundation of Consciousness-Based Education at Maharishi European Research University, which is in the Netherlands, which is a place I've also been to. So with over 20 years of experience, Dr. Victoria is a certified teacher of TM and yoga asanas, and she's also certified practitioner in Maharishi aromatherapy, Maharishi light therapy with gems, and Maharishi Marma therapy. She also manages and oversees treatments at a Panchakarma center, which is located in the campus in Holland. So Dr. Victoria is very well steeped in Maharishi's knowledge, that's for sure, you know. Okay, Dr. Victoria, that's your introduction, and you go ahead and tell us what you want to tell us about. And we have the recording here. I figured we wouldn't really. We have a good number on tonight. I wasn't too sure how many people we would get because the weather is very good in Ireland in the middle of July. But we'll have a lot of people. I've had a lot of people email me saying that they want a copy of the recording. So I'm sure we'll get lots of views of the webinar. So you go ahead, and if you need to share the screen, you can just let me know.
Yes, I would like to share the screen. So very warm welcome and heartfelt welcome to everyone. So today I'm delighted to introduce you the recent published study on a full system research project on a novel Ayurveda program for detox and lifestyle. So let me share my screen. Let me see. Can you see my slide?
Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. So this is then the first we'll discuss about the already published study and its results. So this study was then developed in a collaboration with Maharishi International University and the Center of Maharishi Ayurveda and Health and Medicine, SOMAMed in Austria. And it investigated the effects of the online Maharishi Ayurveda program was designed to enhance mental and physical well-being from the comfort of home. So as we know, mental health complaints have significantly increased in Europe, in UK, and around the world over the past few years. So therefore, the study assessed the effects and safety of the 4-month online multimodal Ayurveda program on mental and physical health of home-based adults, so over the internet. So 98 home-based adults with mild to severe mental health and related physical symptoms were recruited across Europe through digital advertisements. This single-arm repeated measures study utilized 3 individualized treatment groups to evaluate the impact of the Ayurveda program for detox and lifestyle. And this online program included Ayurveda individualized diet, exercise, daily regimen, herbal preparations, detoxification procedures, and Ayurveda motivational solution focused coaching. And 2 Ayurveda trained medical doctors, Dr. Wolfgang Schachinger and Dr. Valeria Schachinger, led the Ayurveda program. And the program featured 8 interactive live webinars over 10 days. Each 1.5-hour session included online group meetings aimed at addressing the underlying factors contributing to the mental and physical ill health. So sessions 1 and 2 were dedicated to digestion, nutrition, and the individualized dosha-specific healthy diet. Sessions 3 and 4 elaborated on individualized dosha-specific daily routine, oil massage like Abhyanga, Maharishi Yoga Asanas, and behavioral recommendations. And sessions 5 to 6 explained individualized dosha-specific herbal gastrointestinal elevation and elimination therapies, snehana and virichana in Sanskrit. And sessions 7 to 8 reviewed all follow-up treatments. So this program, I think, is very similar to the spring and autumn detox webinars, which you have had regularly with the doctors in Ireland. So I think it's something you're already quite familiar. So according to Ayurvedic texts, as you know, the three fundamental governing principles, the three doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, govern all cognitive and physical functions. And the intervention was designed to restore and maintain health by considering this individual psychophysiological dosha-specific constitution, prakriti in Sanskrit, and imbalances, vikriti, and lifestyle factors. And the study protocol utilized standardized Maharishi Ayurveda Europe ISO certified high-quality herbal compounds, because as we all know, quality of the products is very important and their purity. And home-based adults receive personalized Ayurveda dosha-specific Vata, Pitta or Kapha guidelines and herbal compounds based on their Ayurveda dosha self-assessment questionnaire. These materials were sent to them by the Center of Maharishi Ayurveda and Holistic Medicine in Austria. And during the webinars, Dr. Wolfgang and Dr. Valeria Schachinger offered motivational coaching and personalized treatment adjustments. And these sessions were as effective as daily doctor visits in residential settings, providing a cost-effective alternative. And after the 10-day detoxification, clients continued to follow diet and lifestyle recommendations along with the herbal program for mental and physical health for up to 4 months. So let's now examine the results of the study. So 85% of the trial participants were female and average age was 58. And by the end of 4 months, anxiety levels dropped 55% and symptoms of depression decreased 45%. The study also found the big improvements in physical health. The physical symptoms assessed included the most prevalent musculoskeletal, neurological, and digestive symptoms commonly seen in primary care. These symptoms decreased by 42%. Fatigue dropped by 31%, and body mass index went down by 2%. So these improvements were also statistically significant, meaning they were not due to chance. Individualized dosha-specific Vata, Pitta, Kapha treatment groups improved similarly in all measures without significant differences. And we conducted this study in 2021 and then repeated it again in 2022 to confirm the results. And there were no statistically significant differences in results between two study years, which strengthened the results. All participants from regular to severe symptoms showed improvements in mental and physical health. But participants with moderate to severe symptoms, as represented in the chart in the dark blue line, exhibited the most significant improvements, with larger reductions in anxiety compared to those with mild symptoms, indicated by the red line, or minimal symptoms, represented by the light blue line. Additionally, participants whose anxiety levels initially met the criteria for clinical diagnosis experienced a substantial decrease, moving from moderate to severe to mild non-clinical levels, as shown here with the dark blue line. And similarly, symptoms of depression also decreased in all symptom groups, and moderate to severe symptoms decreased to mild non-clinical levels, indicated with the dark blue line. Physical symptoms also decreased to levels below the threshold of somatic symptom disorder, as illustrated here also by the dark blue line. And the study results of the Ayurveda detox and lifestyle program showed similar effectiveness to other complementary and modern treatments, with improvements ranging from 30% to 65%. The Ayurveda program works by helping the body return to healthy balance. As seen in this illustration, it improves digestion, strengthens the immune system, and supports the nervous system. Research shows that healthy eating, yoga exercise, daily routine, and herbal remedies, and massage and detox can reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. And these practices also support brain functioning and overall well-being. Some studies even suggest that Ayurveda treatments may positively affect how genes function, supporting the long-term effect. So it's just about a little bit of the mechanism of these treatments. For example, some studies suggest that Mediterranean diet, vitamin B12, omega-3 fatty acids, and intermittent fasting can support brain health by boosting important growth factors and improving the brain's ability to adapt and form new connections. A healthy gut also plays a key role in this process, helping the brain and digestive system work together more effectively. Exercise also plays a key role in brain health. It improves blood flow to the brain and increases the levels of important brain supporting proteins. Exercise helps reduce inflammation and boost the production of key brain chemicals like serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, which support mood, energy levels, sleep, digestion, and overall body function. Over the time, regular exercise promotes brain growth, strengthens connections between brain cells, and improves memory and cognitive function. Similarly, research showed that maintaining a healthy sleep routine helps regulate the body's stress response, immune system, and hormonal balance. Additionally, Ayurvedic herbal therapies that support digestion and elimination help remove build-up toxins from the body's microchannels, leading to better overall health and well-being. So that is a specific part of detoxification. So this study had several strengths, including repeated measures, replication, and treatment groups tailored to individual doshas. Participants showed moderate to high compliance with high retention rate of 91%, and study was conducted in real-world settings using a representative sample and standardized measures and treatments. Additionally, there were minimal harmful side effects reported. Due to financial constraints, and the study used single group design, which could not control the placebo effect or other confounding factors, limiting its ability to confirm efficacy. But self-reported questionnaires may also introduce bias, and the sample from primary older adult women from a non-clinical population could underestimate the effects and limit generalizability. And selection bias was also another potential limitation. So in summary, this study found significant improvements in anxiety, depression, physical symptoms, fatigue, and BMI over the 4 months in 98 adults practicing the Ayurveda program for detox at home. The improvements were substantial, indicating real clinical benefits. However, to confirm these findings, future randomized control trials are needed with larger and more diverse clinical populations. So this research contributes to growing understanding of how complementary multimodal lifestyle approaches can support mental and physical health. It highlights the potential of integrating such protocols into the mainstream healthcare. And authors gratefully acknowledge Dr. Wolfgang Schachinger and Dr. Valeria Schachinger and their team at the Center of Maharishi Ayurveda and Holistic Medicine, SOMA, in Austria, for collaboration and intervention development, delivery, and participant enrollment. And we sincerely also appreciate the expertise of psychologist Dr. Marsha Murphy, health professionals Dr. Peter Swan, and educators Dr. Jane Bialowski, Dr. William Sands, and Dr. Susan Tilbeck for their help and support. We would also like to express our deep gratitude to all co-authors, Dr. Fred Travis, Dr. Robert Schneider, Dr. Catherine Corini, and Dr. Gordana Markovic. And as a follow-up study, now we are conducting an important qualitative study to explore how Ayurvedic detox and lifestyle programs can be meaningfully integrated into the client's everyday life and modern medical care. So we invite clients, healthcare professionals, and healthcare administrators like you to share your perspectives. This study is conducted by the Physiology and Health Department at Maharishi International University, and participation, of course, is completely voluntary and confidential. No personal identifiers will be published. And participation takes less than 10 minutes. So you may choose to schedule a brief 10 to 20 minutes interview via Zoom or phone, or complete a short survey. And on this slide, you will see the survey link with QR code. And if you have any questions or would like to schedule the interview, please just contact me by the following email, research.10@miu.edu. And this information was also sent to you by Noel already, so you have it. And on these slides, you will see two survey links with QR codes for healthcare professionals. So if you are a healthcare professional, please select the appropriate form based on your background. One is for those with training in Ayurveda, and another one is for those new to Ayurveda. And in the same way, if you have any questions or would like to schedule an interview, please contact me by the same email. And we just want you to know that your participation is highly valued and makes a meaningful contribution to this research on integrative healthcare. And we kindly ask you to share this service with your friends. And if you are a healthcare professional, if your clients or colleagues. So thank you very much. So now I would like to see if anyone has any questions you would like to ask about the quantitative study results I just presented or qualitative study, the new study to participate. So in case anyone has any questions, you can just open your mic and ask, or if you want to type them in the chat, and I think Noel can read them to me.
Yeah, normally we just put them into the chat. So if you do have any questions, I'll just see, can I free people up on their, you should be able to unmute yourself if you want to ask that way, or if you want to just put them into the chat either, then that's what you could do as well. So basically there's two options for people. I think, well, there's two different things. There's one for practitioners of Ayurveda and one for non-practitioners, but people who use Ayurveda. Now we have a big cohort of people who have been doing our detox, our spring and our autumn detox. And actually we've quite a few people who do the spring and the autumn detox and have done it over the last 4 or 5 years every year. So I would definitely appeal to those people to get in touch with Dr. Victoria, because you're the people that have a lot of experience using Ayurveda, and possibly because you do the detox, you also follow an Ayurvedic lifestyle during the year as well. Because that's one thing we definitely find, that when people do the detox program, especially if they do it a few times, they tend to develop very positive habits in their lifestyle around eating main meal in the middle of the day, about going to bed early at night time, about avoiding toxins, about doing their meditation. So those people I think would be really valuable to this study. So your two options are, one is a short interview with Dr. Victoria, which will take about 10 minutes. That's the option I chose. Or the other option is to fill up the survey. But I would encourage people to do the interview. I think it's great to meet and talk with Dr. Victoria. And then the other one is for practitioners of Ayurveda. So people who have done the Alma Mater course, people who have done the BAMS. Certainly our doctors should be, Dr. Rajvinder and Dr. Nahid and Dr. Chatelli should be getting in touch with you if they haven't already. And all the other practitioners. And then there's a separate survey for them. So I'll send out separate emails for them so that you can either fill up the survey or do the interview. So just see if there's any questions here. That's Madeline from France just says hello. There's a question there. How many people in the study practice TM regularly? Maybe that was not something you asked, but maybe you know that. I don't know. You should be able to unmute yourself there now. Yeah.
Yes, this is a great question. And about 60% of the participants had already learned TM before we started the study. And of course, they were practicing their TM program along. And we were doing also comparison between two groups, the 30% who didn't practice transcendental meditation and the group who practiced transcendental meditation along with the TM. And we didn't see, there was actually three groups. We had one group practicing transcendental meditation, one group doing other forms of meditation, and one group not practicing any meditation. And we didn't see statistically significant differences between the three groups. But the largest, let's say, improvements were in the groups which didn't practice any form of meditation, understandably, because the groups with practice meditation, especially the group with transcendental meditation, had the most lowest symptom level. So the group which didn't practice any meditation had the highest symptoms, so they had the biggest change, of course.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would imagine if people were practicing TM, I know as a TM teacher myself, I mean, there's lots of research around its effects on anxiety, and one would expect that a meditation technique that's relaxing your mind is obviously going to have a good impact on anxiety. So maybe those people going into the study, as you say, weren't experiencing high anxiety. It's very interesting to know that the people with the most severe symptoms were the people that got the best benefit from it. And that's very encouraging as well, because that's what you'd really want. You'd want to see the people that are suffering the most, that a decrease in their level of suffering. So that's a good thing to see as well. Uh, Brian, that's an interesting question. I'll sort of half answer that and then I'll turn it over to Dr. Victoria. It says, I'm curious about the minimal adverse effects. I would not have expected any. Thank you, Brian. Brian, when we do our detox programs, we always do them under medical supervision. As you know, always Dr. Rajvinder or Dr. Brennan we only do those detox programs under medical supervision. And that's because there can be some side effects, but they do tend to be very minimal. But it may be things like maybe constipation or diarrhea or headaches would be quite a common one, because when you're detoxing, things can happen on an emotional level and also on a physical level. So that's why we only ever do them under medical supervision. But those things always dissipate. And by the end of the 7-day detox or the 12-day detox, those things tend to have gone. But you would have to consider them a side effect. So that's just from our own experience. But Dr. Victoria, you might want to say something about that.
Yes. So if you consider that we had almost 100 participants, among the 100 participants, 6 participants experienced some mild side effects. So we categorized side effects in 4 different categories: mild, moderate, and severe, and very severe. So we didn't have anyone in a severe category. So we had few people who had mild or moderate side effects, and these side effects were in the category of like feeling more tired, feeling, for example, from caffeine, stopping taking the caffeine. So there was some headaches from that. So they were all mild and mostly feeling tired or less energy right after taking castor oil, which is actually quite common for the people to experience. But they were transient and passing in between 1 to 2 to 3 days. So this is just, let's say, like, it's a quite usual common symptoms of detoxification.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, Sean, I see your question was answered. You hadn't seen the thing above. Mansoop, that's really not that relevant to this particular talk. I will answer your question. I wonder if there's any Ayurvedic treatment for macular degeneration available. I live in London. Ayurveda has great treatments for the eyes. There's a treatment called netratharpana where they put a ring and they put ghee, medicated ghee, and you open it up. Actually, my mother suffered from macular degeneration, and in the latter part of her life, one of the things she had to do was regularly go for eye injections. And they were very upsetting for her. Like, they'd leave you blurry, and obviously it required a visit to the doctor or the hospital as well. So I went to an Ayurvedic eye hospital in Kochi in India last year because I just wanted to check to see if I had any signs of macular degeneration. Now, they sent me to a kind of a regular hospital to do all the research and studies, and thankfully it came back that there was no sign of it. But they do have a whole source of treatments that they can do to help strengthen the eye. So yes, I think any qualified Ayurvedic doctor, BAMS, should be able to help you with eye treatments. As I say, it's not really relevant to the talk this evening, but treatment of the eye. And actually, Dr. Naheed has a webinar, Ear, Eyes, Nose and Throat, with a whole section on eye care. So if you want to send me an email, noel@ayurveda.ie, I'll send you a link to that webinar. But in brief, to answer your question, yes, there's a lot Ayurveda can help with your eyes.
I would also on that I was doing together with I was in the Sridharam, which is one of the clinics in near the Cochin, who is specialized in eye treatments, and I went there together with the group of students as a faculty to help them to become more trained in Ayurvedic treatments. And there are quite a number of specialized eye treatments for macular degeneration and also the other eye problems mentioned in the chat. But it needs a very specific consultation with the specialized eye doctor or who is trained also in Ayurveda or some of the island Ayurvedic doctors. And definitely the treatments exist. And we saw quite many patients with improvements in various eye disease through specific panchakarma treatments for the eyes. They're doing a lot of different treatments. Netratarpana is one of them. There is specific ones also for macular degeneration, but there is some paste which is applied for the eyes and for the inflammation. There is also some specific herbal mixtures which can be applied on top of the eyes, specific eye drops in different times of the day inside the eye. So there are quite a lot of different treatments which could be done to improve the eyesight.
Okay, yeah, actually, that hospital you mentioned, that's the same one. They have a couple of clinics throughout India. It's very, very famous. If you Google, there's a story about the daughter of the ex-president of Kenya, and she was basically blind. She had some disease that had caused her to go blind, and obviously they'd gone to all the different allopathic eye doctors and everything. And he took her to India to that center, and she did treatments, and her eyesight was restored. And he was so impressed with this that he visited Modi, the president of India, and said, "Why aren't you making this knowledge more available? Like Modi's doing everything he can to make this knowledge available." But he was so impressed with the Ayurveda and what it had done for his daughter. So if you just Google that, you can just Google it, just president of India, president of Kenya, daughter eyesight restored through Ayurvedic treatments. Now this webinar is specifically about the research. I don't want to turn it into a general Q&A. We will do another one of them. So if you could just keep your questions related to the topic on hand, that would be great, because I see the questions are starting to stray a little bit. But Ross asks in relation to the particular thing that we're talking about, was the exercise vigorous like jogging or team sports, or was it a gentler form like yoga or walking? So that's the
Yes,
exercise that people were encouraged to do.
yes, they were yoga and then twisting exercise for the back and mainly walking. But people were encouraged to do any kind of physical activity which they prefer.
Okay, there is another question about Adrian about eyes again, but just refer to the answer that I gave before. And as I say, Ayurveda can do an awful lot for eyes. There's a question about turmeric, which is not related to this.
But I can
Uh,
answer this about the turmeric causing the liver problems. The reason is that modern medicine tries to isolate the active ingredient. And once it isolates the active ingredient, the herbal intelligence, which is combined with all the different aspects and multiple different chemical components, is disturbed. And if just the one ingredient is isolated, then it can become harmful taken in large doses. So mainly it relates to how the turmeric is used. So if it's used properly in a proper quantities inside the food, or as a medicine combined with other Ayurvedic herbs or other Ayurvedic components, and it's not just isolated one ingredient, then it doesn't have a harmful side effect.
Yeah, so we have lots of cookery courses where we talk about the use of turmeric, and one of the things you can do is fry it in the ghee when you're frying up your spices. But it's just a little pinch of turmeric, just a little pinch. Now, I would say if you're taking turmeric capsules, it's better to do that under the consultation of one of the doctors. Uh, it's better not to self-prescribe a lot of these medicines anyway. It's better to get proper advice from the doctors, because they'll know your body type, they'll know the conditions that you have, and they'll be able to recommend the correct dosage as well. Anything, anything is probably in the wrong dosage can be bad for you. So it's important that we get the correct dosage and as pure to the natural form of it as is possible. Actually, you can buy turmeric root in a lot of the supermarkets, a bit like ginger root nowadays. You can actually buy the root as well, which is a good thing to do. And was there a decrease in medication usage by participants in the survey, from Ross McDermott?
Yeah, this is a good question, and that is something we didn't really ask from the participants, but it's a good angle to take, and that's something, for the next research to note down.
Yeah, so we can see if people, but I'm presuming that if the symptoms go down and they stay down over a longer period of time, then the people would be able to speak to their ordinary doctor and say, listen, they're possibly in a position to reduce some of that medication if it's gone down over a long period of time. But as it say, that's something you have to specifically look at.
Yes, what we
Okay.
did look was that we looked if people was taking also vitamins and other supplements along with Ayurvedic preparations. And then again, the statistical analysis didn't show that the groups differed in any way, or there was different results for those who used vitamins. And um, Yes, the research is actually available in the first slide. There was given a link for the published research, which is available. It's everyone can read and download it in the internet.
Yeah, I
So
sent that out in the previous email. So in either the last or the second last newsletter I sent out. So people can click a link into that research, they can see it, and then they can share it with their friends, they can share it on their Facebook page, whatever they want. It's very important we get the fact out there that that there is research being done on Ayurveda, and it's been shown to be very beneficial. Was there any assistance provided to improve sleep?
yes, if there was some, let's say, daily routine aspects like foot massage and foot bath before going to bed. So that's one thing which is very beneficial for the sleep. And then there was also some of the herbal combinations which improved sleep as well, which they could take after the detoxification for the next 3 months.
Yeah, I think in some ways, like Maharishi had this analogy once of a table with four legs, and you just have to pull on one leg, and the whole table moves. If you do something that's positive in your life, whether like it's learning meditation, let's say, it can have an effect on all aspects of your life. In the same way, if you do a detox program, it can have an effect on all aspects of your life. It can improve your sleep, it can improve your digestion, it can improve your mood. It can do all these things. So when you do something positive, it tends to filter through to all the different things that are there. So you mightn't specifically be saying, well, I'm going to work on sleep. But you do a detox, you get rid of some stress, you get rid of some ama, and then naturally the body can fall to sleep in an easier way. So, and then naturally the digestion works better and the thought process slows down and is more creative. So these things have a positive effect on everything. Is one of the great things just by changing your lifestyle or diet or doing a detox. So that answers that. Specifically, other medical modalities. That's Claire Lafferty. How can this research be made available to a wider audience, specifically other medical modalities? Not sure what you mean there, Claire. Um, but anyway, as I say, the link to that research is there. And I'll send it again. I'll send the recording out of this on Saturday, and I'll put all the links and all the necessary links to Dr. Victoria, the email address, the survey links. I'll put it all in that email that I send out, and then you'll be able to go back over this webinar as well. Okay, that's
And
great.
then just
Go
I
ahead.
wanted to add just in the end, because there is no more questions, just to remind you that as was demonstrated by the results of the detox study, the initial positive outcomes were achieved through spring detoxification. And however, these benefits were sustained over 4 months period to the maintenance of Ayurvedic diet and lifestyle, which included regular exercise. And there is a well-known saying in Ayurveda that when diet is wrong, medicine is of no use, and when diet is correct, medicine is of no need. So this timeless wisdom underscores the foundational role of proper diet and lifestyle in preserving health and preventing disease. So I just wanted to review with you just few key principles so that you are refreshed in your fundamental principles of Ayurvedic healthy eating, along with the dietary recommendations for three doshas like Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So first, eating with full attention is important for your food and pleasant environment. So you all know of these things, but it's good to review time to time. So whatever you eat in silence or engaged in uplifting conversation and expressing gratitude enhances digestion and nutrient absorption. And Ayurveda emphasizes the importance of balance in our diets. So again, the key principle includes eating whole, fresh foods, paying attention to our body's needs, and considering the qualities of food in relation to our doshas. So as you know, Vata types, whose characteristics include lightness and dryness, it's essential to focus on grounding foods. They should incorporate more warm, moist, and oily foods like soups, stews, and healthy fats. Sweet, sour, and salty taste help to balance Vata, as you all know. And Pitta individuals, known for their fiery nature, benefit from cooling foods. They should emphasize fresh fruits, leafy greens, and dairy while avoiding overly spicy and acidic foods. So bittersweet and astringent taste are particularly balancing for Pitta. And Kapha types associated with heaviness and stability should aim for light, stimulating foods, and they should focus on warm, spicy, and bitter foods while reducing heavy and oily items. So pungent, bitter, and astringent tastes are helpful for kapha balance. So after eating, it's beneficial to sit quietly for about 5 minutes before returning to your activities. So this practice aids digestion, allowing your body to process and assimilate the meal. And if time permits, just considering taking very slow, easy, short walk after your meal to further enhance digestion and invigorate your body. And some of the important aspects of Ayurvedic daily routine includes also waking up early, ideally before sunrise, when the mind is fresh and the environment is calm. So start your day with warm water cleansing, practices like tongue scraping, oil massage, and light movements such as yoga or walk. And daily exercise is also essential. It can be anything you enjoy. Just make sure it suits to your energy level. A simple guideline is if you can breathe through your nose while exercising, you're doing it right. So if not, just slow down a little. And eat meals at regular times, with lunch being the largest meal of the day at noon and lighter meals at breakfast and dinner. And enjoy a relaxing walk in the evening. Going to bed early around 10 p.m. helps support deep rest and balance. So by incorporating these Ayurvedic principles, as we saw from the research and the dietary recommendations, you can cultivate a balanced approach to eating and living that aligns with your individual needs. So I just encourage you to all explore how these practices can enrich your well-being. So thank you for attending our webinar on Ayurveda research, and I hope it offered some meaningful insights into supporting your personal health and balance through Ayurveda principles. So wishing you continued well-being and success on your wellness journey. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Victoria. That was great. And the little reminder there at the end is fantastic as well, because we've covered those points so many times in our webinars, but it's great to have them covered again so that, just reminds people. And obviously we have our 7-lesson Ayurveda course. So if you haven't done that, you should do that. You'll find out all about Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and we've specific lessons on the daily routine and the tongue scraping that Dr. Victoria talked about, and all of the daily routines are on that as well. So I just want to say a big, big thank you to Dr. Victoria. I'd like to encourage everybody to get in touch with her. The more people do this, the more in-depth the research will be. So it's only a 10-minute interview, so it's a very simple thing. Or if you prefer to fill up the survey, just fill up the survey, and I'll send all the links to that on Saturday with the recording of this. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming on, and thank you, Dr. Victoria, and hopefully we'll have you back again when you have more research to inform us. So we'd love to invite you back on to tell our Ayurvedic family here in Ireland and the UK all about it. Okay. Thank
you
you.
so much, everyone. Have a great time.
Yeah, lots of thanks coming in. Thank you. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.